gonna have a full-on attack with him with all my party members. That was easy enough. It's going to change formations because all the ranged people will be in the back. That way it'll be easier for them. And all the melee people will be in front.
Saw you in the flames.
Squatting at the base of the statue is an incredibly ugly man with bulging red cheeks, raked by pox scars, and a scraggly beard. He is sweating as if he has a fever, but his breathing is measured and steady, like a slow push of a blacksmith's bellows. But that comparison feels strange and unwelcome. The next comparison, possibly sparked by his grin, is that of a bear trap. And then out of nowhere, there is a hint of alchemical fire that fades almost as soon as you identify the smell.
Come to pray at the statue.
The question mark is barely there. As the man makes a statement, the statue takes on a reddish cast, as if one is holding a torch to it, then slowly blossoms into waving flames. The man doesn't turn as the statue blossoms into fire.
The others are welcome, but it's best if just you and I trade words, and your shadows stay quiet. Hands off their weapons, both arcane and steel. It's only you I want to trade words with anyway. I swear before the whore that is Margaret, no harm will come to you in her shadow. If that's enough for you. If not...
A staff rests easily in his hand. It wasn't there a moment ago. Examine the statue. The weaving firelight from the statue gives off no heat, so much so that you wonder if it's some trick of the mind. The ugly man before you doesn't seem to notice it or feel it, although the sheen on his brow is still present, as if he's burning up from within. The sun-weaving flame from the statue of Magrin casts more light on his features. The man's robes are dirty, stained with grease and other marks of the road. The hems of his robes, including the sleeves, are burned at the edges, as if he walked a great distance across the fire, then reached into the flames with his hands to pull something out. But while his hands are thick and calloused, they bear no burn or scorch marks. The staff looks thick, stout, of blackened ash once burned by a terrible fire. Beneath the ash, the lines in the wood bear shapes and patterns. There's a certainty the staff was once something far more dangerous, but not now. As you study it deeper, it shimmers slightly in your eyes, like water catching the light weaving across the statue. Whatever power was bled from the staff, it doesn't make it, or the wielder, any less dangerous. You look up to see the man watching you studying the staff. As his gaze meets yours, he nods with a humorless smile.
I didn't give it. You probably find names as useless as I do. The names that litter this world like debris are hard enough to wrap around the tongue. And what do they matter? It's what's beneath the skin and the letters I care about. What burns within. It's more important to me you're a watcher than whatever culture or accent decorates your letters like awkward crowns. Take pride in your actions, not where you hail from. Or how your name rolls off whatever liar's tongue coats it now. If you need a title to hang on me to match your own watcher, then call me Durance. And as you observe souls, I test them.
How'd you know I was a watcher? Durance shakes his head, and his hand curls tightly on his staff. I can see the questions bubbling up. Let's burn them away one by one.
I am a missionary. I walk this diseased nation with its heathen, It's people so careless with the spirits of others and their own. Watchers among them. Yes, I know you for what you are, and your name doesn't interest me. Names are for honest folk, and you are a crack that shines light from another place. We're meant to travel together, you and I. Saw you in the flames. Not your face, but that soul of yours. All tightened up, like a huntsman's knot.
You saw my soul in the flames?
There's things we can teach each other. If you're in need of answers to your mantle of questions. I don't force my words on anyone other than you. I don't care who walks with you or what their mewling problems and politics are. There's enough howling in the world without me stoking that fire. I won't take from your provisions, don't need much on the road. I can carry my weight, which is considerable. Many will stand against you. They probably already have, from what I can see. Left their marks, it seems. Like a trail, worming its way behind you. Then let us walk together, Watcher.
Let's level Durance up. Let's see here. So what is he good at? He's good at lore. That's good, I guess. And we need athletics a little bit, just because we need athletics in order to get fatigued less on our journeys in case we go around a lot. Kind of like how to explain it. In case we keep going from place to place, and since it's hours from map to, it takes like 8 hours, 6 hours a day to travel from map to map, they get fatigued and all that other good stuff. So let's see. Whoops, yeah. I forgot to look at what he can do before I did that. So he's a cleric. A priest, I'm sorry, a priest. And he has decent might for damage and healing, of course, because he's going to probably be healing our endurance a little bit during battles. His dexterity is a little bit lower than base, which is usually 10. That's usually what breaks even. So he's got less action speed, and less reflex. So as you can, let's see if we can get it real quick. The Reflex Defense allows characters to dodge out of the way of physically harmful AoE attacks. So basically he's susceptible to all kinds of physical AoE attacks, and looks like he is susceptible to interrupts. Interrupt determines how likely a damaging attack is to delay their opponent's current or next action. The duration of the delay is determined by the interrupt strength listed on a weapon or attack. An interrupt applied to a character already suffering from an interrupt with longer duration will have no effect. So it looks like whatever. So on a side note, whatever interrupts has longer duration for, taking them on basically taking them a longer time to recover is not going to be trumped by a shorter duration. So he's got good concentration, which is pretty good for a priest, because the character's concentration determines how likely they are to have their spells or attacks interrupted during combat. So he's got plus 24 to concentration, so he's got less chance of his spells at least being interrupted. So he's got plus 10 for with his intellect. He's got plus 10 to his will bonus. Will bonus, sorry. Let's see what these spells do, though. I always skip over Durance's spells because I usually use him as a frontline fighter, which is not always good with his robes, so we can put him in chainmail and stuff. So Armor of Faith. Friendly AoE, damage reduction for 37.5 seconds. That's good. Barbs of Common Queen Scroll, do you mean scroll? Oh, okay. Barbs of Condemnation. Target 22 to 34 pierce damage, -5 to all defenses for 12.5 seconds. I guess that's an accuracy check versus fortitude. So, like, well, let's see, because I don't want to say things without knowing what they are, really. Because it even tells you. So fortitude resists attacks on the internal physical systems of the character, i.e. poison, disease, etc. It is defined by the character's class level, might, and constitution, but it can also be influenced by other effects. So basically, it's like slow, and not slow, but it's more like what it says, internal constitutions. Like poison and disease, so that's interesting. So it's accuracy plus 10 against fortitude. So if they have a low fortitude, then they're pretty much susceptible to it. What's blessing do? Gosh dang it. This is hard to get used to with this. See, oh, we can use a D-pad. I forgot. Blessing. Friendly AoE, plus 5 accuracy, plus 10% damage for 25 seconds. Divine Terror, that sounds fun. Foe AoE, frightened for 18.8 seconds. Frightened is resolve and dexterity reduced by 2, and accuracy is reduced by 10. So that means their dexterity, so their action speed is reduced, and resolve, so their will is reduced, it sounds like. Frightened for 18.8 seconds. Strikes fear into the hearts of the unworthy, inflicting a penalty to accuracy on all enemies in the area of effect. Halt. It sounds like a paralyzed thing. Stuck. For 12.5 seconds. Stuck characters are rooted. Can't leave their current location. Excuse me. Your reflex and deflection are reduced by 20. Accuracy is reduced by 5 for all sources. For all sources. Dexterity is reduced by 2. Commands a single enemy to halt, causing them to temporarily cease all movement. So that's pretty good, especially for like a melee fighter that you don't want to get to your casters, which is ironically what he is. Holy Meditation. Friendly AoE plus 30 concentration plus 15 will. Oh wow, that's cool. So let's see, concentration, if I remember correctly. Yeah, their spell stuff. The priest clears his or her mind, spreading that clarity to nearby allies, thereby increasing their concentration and will bonuses. Prayer against fear. Immunity to frightened and terrified for 25 seconds. Steals the mind of allies in the area of effect against all external fears, granting immunity to the frightened and terrified afflictions. Restore minor endurance. This is what we need to focus on, I think, for a priest. Plus 13.4 endurance, friendly AoE. Oh, it's a small AoE though, right? 1.95 meter radius. Okay. Shares a portion of the caster's divine strength, restoring some endurance to all allies in the area of effect. So the question is, do we want Durance as an offensive or defensive caster? I would say defensive, only because, well, let's try withdrawal. Let's see what that does. Access invisible for 25 seconds. Friendly target. Is that kind of... Isolates the single target within a protective sphere, shielding them from harm while they're endurance. That's good for casters too. So that's more of a support role. So I wonder if we can... Support. Don't use per rest on AI. Let me do that. The priest uses Holy Radiance whenever someone in the party is below 33% endurance. For 2 more people below 50. Priest uses Holy Radiance whenever someone in the party is below 33% endurance, or if 2 or more people are below 50% endurance. If per rest is enabled, the priest emphasizes healing and support spells like Armor of Faith, Blessing, Holy Meditation, Restore Minor Endurance, Withdrawal, etc. The prayer against spells are used reactively when more than one party member is suffering from an applicable effect. Yeah, I like support better. Defensive, probably. The character will actively seek out nearby enemies for combat, regardless of whether or not they're... What? Oh, seek out versus nearby. I gotcha. Okay. We like that. Oh, they fixed that. That's good. Okay. Now we level them up with athletics and lore. So Radiance. We didn't even look what Radiance did, but anyway. Enemies take burn damage from the priest's holy radiance. Vessels take increased burn damage. Because if he's going to be support, do you want him doing healing or attacks? Huh. Interdiction. Foes AoE daze for 8.8 seconds. 1 per encounter. That's more offensive. Inspired Flame. The Faithful of Magran gain an accuracy bonus with sword and arquebus, which is this type of firearm, I believe, and can cast a special version of Bursts of Summer Flame. Plus 10 accuracy for sword and arquebus. Great Ancestor, Burst of Summer Flame, 1 per rest. Okay. Yeah, we are. Don't worry. Give me 1 second. Aggrandizing Radiance. Everyone receives less healing from the priest's holy radiance, but the priest gains a bonus to all attributes and movement. Huh. Wait, what? Is it only for the priest? Inspiring Radiance. Allies gain an accuracy bonus from the priest's holy radiance. Accuracy, we have a fighter, a chanter, who uses a bow. Do I really want him in the... That's true. We'll just seek attack. No, we're probably not going to do that. Let's see here. We probably are going to give him a defensive. No. You know what? I don't know whether to give him an offensive thing with a gun, because he does get that inspired flame thing. That looks cool, because that's a passive only for the faithful of Magran. Only for the faithful. So he's a faithful of Magran. He's a servant of Magran. So that's what the kind of priest he is. So since he gets that, he gets plus 10 accuracy. And I don't want him being that much of a frontline fighter. I'm gonna see if we can find arquebus here. Blunderbuss, arquebus, soldier, great sword. So he can use a great sword, and that gives accuracy for that. Okay. So if we're gonna do him ranged, we might want to do some more with accuracy here. There is... Okay, plus 6 accuracy. So we are still going to go back and do some things. So, I think. Sign of Flame. That's cool. That makes sense. So if we did Inspired Flame, that's what we were thinking about. I don't know, I'll think about it, because we need... We can just do Sign of Flame right now. Does he have any burn damage? I think he has one skill that does burn damage, so we'll just skip that too. Only because he only has one skill in it. So... If we give an accuracy bonus to everybody, that would increase everything. So we'll just do that. No? Well. Yeah, do the accuracy bonus. It's fine. level 3. We give him up to level 7 so he can use level 3 scrolls. Lore represents characters accumulated missing. Yeah, miscellaneous knowledge and trivia. Higher lore values allow the character to use a higher level scrolls. Okay. And we got more spells. Awesome. So what spells did we get? We got second level spells. That's fun. Let's see what we got. Consecrated Ground. Plus 11.1 endurance over 1.3 seconds. Wait. Oh, I see. AoE duration 25 seconds. That's good. So why? I guess we should put him to healing then instead of support, I guess. Divine Mark. Here's another burn damage. Okay. Average speed 45 to 56 burn damage. That's cool. Lowering deflection, which means direct melee. Oh, so we have plenty of that then. That's cool. That's not AoE though. Okay, that's cool. Holy power. Let's see what that does. Plus 3 off from the aura. Increases zone of divine favor, increasing the might and resolve of allies in the area of effect. Plus 3, plus 7 resolve, plus 3 might, plus 7 resolve for 37.5 seconds. That's neat. Let's see, iconic projection. Freeze damage. Creates a slow-moving, energetic projection of the priest's face, returning endurance to allies and inflicting freeze damage to enemies. Instilled doubt. Daze for 25 seconds. Taps into subconscious uncertainties, reducing the speed of all enemies in the area of effect. Parried against infirmity. Immunity to sickened, weakened for 25 seconds. A sickened character has all attributes reduced by 1. Fortitude and will are reduced by 10. Weakened characters have their might and constitution reduced by 2. Movement is reduced by 1. Fortitude and will are reduced by 20. Holy cow. Oh, immunity too. Okay, that's neat. So, like, when we're against, like, zombies, like, and poison enemies, I guess. Repulsing seal. Places a magical seal on the floor that sends enemies sprawling on contact, causing them to become prone. Prone characters can't take any action. Nice. For 8.8 seconds. Plus 20, plus 20.2 endurance. That's nice. And one more. Suppress affliction. Hostile effect. What? Stifles detrimental conditions through sheer force of will, temporarily suspending hostile status effects on allies in the area of effect. Oh, nice. So does that give you time to actually get rid of them? Holy Radiance. Just want to make sure I'm doing that. Oops. Creates a field of holy energy around a priest, burning any vessels in the vicinity and regenerating a modest amount of endurance for allies. The power of a priest's holy radiance is modified by how well his or her reputation aligns with the preferred behaviors of his or her faith. Okay. Time to save. Give me 1 second. We'll do a little bit of a pause here, and we will go back to town in a little bit, but I just want to do a quick overview of Mogren for you. So, Mogren, portfolio means what she's known for is war, fire, consumption, transformation, purification, and trials. She has Aothis, which is the Saint's War person. As a foe, her symbols are a flaming spherical bomb. Mogren's priests commonly employ firearms. Devices. Magnum's faithful are rank and file soldiers as well as officers, tacticians, and strategists. Devices used in warfare, especially those made in the forge, such as weapons and armor, are also part of Magnum's domain. And Abiden is often an important ally for her. More philosophically, priests of Magnum view warfare as apotheosis of mortal struggle, not something that should be undertaken at all times, but when undertaken, an endeavor that elevates mortals into a state of divine awareness. Awesome. What? What? Yeah. Yep, give me 1 second. We're gonna go back to town and make a character real quick, and I'll tell you why. Because as you see, we only have so many people, and this guy is gonna be in mid range because he should be in the middle because he's gonna be healing and doing support roles, which reminds me I gotta change that for his thing to healing. So that's that. So we just go back here. So he's gonna be mid-range behind Ader, I guess. So we will just do this, and we will just do it this way and go to the Veil to make somebody 4 hours, except we are back in town, and we're making our way to the inn, only because, like I said, I want to make another character, a frontline character, a barbarian or paladin, possibly a monk, though I don't have much experience with monks, so I'm not sure how well this will work, but we will see. So I might just, err on the side of caution for a barbarian or paladin, because Ader's already a fighter. Honestly, I might get a gun for Durance. So let's do this real quick.
How do you do?
I do some reliable help. Let me see what I have to work with. So level 1 is only, well, let's do something real quick. Like, see what we have for sale. Okay, let's go R3. Did we already use most of our stuff? Or we have not done that much, I guess. High to low. Okay, so crossbow, but they're not going to use that crossbow. We might have a character that will use that. I'm not going to have anybody that uses a torch, I wouldn't think. Let's trade, that way we have enough, even though we have 4 camping supplies. We're good for right now. I'd like to hire some help. Level 2 adventurer. It would make sense. I mean, because if they're going to be frontline, we want them to be as buff as possible, I think. So we will make a female. What? Oh. Right, that's China for you. Okay, so might would be important for this guy because he will physical and spiritual strength. Yep. Probably dexterity too, so. -1, that's not good. So, what is Pela? I forget what Pela is. I think she's an Orlan. I believe she's an Orlan. Oh, you give me my money back, don't you? Yeah, she's Orlan, okay. It makes sense, I guess. Her thorns, or just do a godlike.
Hail and well met.
A female godlike, probably. Dexterity and intellect, because that way we have some breathing room for everything. We will do moon godlike. Because if they're going to be a frontline fighter, we want the silver tide. Every encounter, when they are reduced between endurance, it'll give them more. It'll restore some. Oops, what am I doing? Oh, I see. That's cool. We'll probably do a dwarf godlike. So we want them to be either frontline fighter. Is a monk a frontline fighter? That makes sense with the silver tide, with the monks. Excuse me. Wounds. As the monks who damage or pain generates wounds. Wounds can be used to power many of the monks' special abilities. It makes sense, but are they really frontline fighters? So I'm really worried about that. Paladin's a little bit tricky, only because of the relations. That's good. Barbarian. We might just do Barbarian and leave Monk for a different time. Only because they do AoE hits when they hit somebody. Hit with melee attacks, they automatically make reduced damage attacks to all other enemies within a short distance of the target. So we'll do that. Frenzy. Nope. Shoot. Do we want that? Minus 10 to deflection, health and endurance. Minus 10 to deflection, comma, health and endurance concealed for 12 seconds. That's dangerous, but I'm sure the silver tide will still activate. So let's do that. So, highly recommended, highly recommended. We're definitely going to do some dexterity. So we're going to do Constitution. I'm going to do high Constitution here. Like really high Constitution, as you can see. Only because it'll be a frontline fighter and we need as much health and endurance as we can get. What does this do? Duration well. No, we want dexterity. This is my thinking on it. Be slightly faster with action speed, but since Barbarian will be a frontline fighter, we want as much endurance and health as we can get. And Fortitude is basically, I think, the poison resistance to poison and disease, right? And might, of course, to have more damage and healing. Well, damage and hopefully it's incoming healing too. We'll find out. Okay, so we probably want more dexterity, only because that is the lowest cost, or lowest there. But then again, we would probably want more Constitution too, for more health. Yeah, we're gonna go Constitution. And you're a Barbarian, so I don't know really. Yeah, probably gonna. Yeah. Athletics and survival. Yeah. That's cool. What's the first one look like? Both of those are cool. That's legit. That's cool. So let's see here. That's on your starting clothes.
Leading the way. Let's go.
So I got that. I wonder if we can. This would be that's from the second part's from Mystery Science Theater, Space Mutiny. They make fun of all those names for the buff hero, so that makes sense. So, cool. Now we can do this. Oops, edit. You can be our second. Okay, so you will be our point person. Because no, you won't. You will protect our left flank. Okay. Okay. So now you look and see what you got. What we got here. So what do you... He has a 16 Constitution. How has he got more health then? He's always a higher level. Oh, I see. I got you. Okay, so that makes sense. I'm stupid. Okay, now we can elevate you. Level you up. Let's see, athletics. I'll do both these. Greater Frenzy. That's cool. So that's cool because it modifies it, gives you plus 2 more might for more damage, plus 2 more constitution for, I believe, yeah, health and stamina. So that would make sure she was at least a little bit more viable on the battlefield. Accuracy of secondary, that's what I'm looking at, honestly. 1 per encounter. Barbarian deals a massive blow, causing additional crits and extra damage on crits. Carnage not affected. Okay, so we want accurate carnage in. That's easy enough. That's not hard. So what are you at now? 93, so you're a little bit above. You can probably be definitely our frontline fighter for death for sure. So I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna swap places with you with Ader. Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely gonna be our frontline fighter here. So we're gonna rest.
Good day, stranger.
Like a room, please. We have 98. Yeah, we're gonna rest in the common room. That way we're up to par with all our health, stamina, well, endurance I call it. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna save one more time. And we're gonna go mob hunting. Like basically like enemy hunting. So let's do this. What do you have for weapons anyway? You have... Can you really? All spears are really one-handed. Spear and a dagger. Alrighty then. Do we have a better spear for you? Level 16. Level 16. Accuracy versus deflection. Accuracy. Who has better perception? Let's find out. You're a chancer, so you probably should have. No, we'll give it to Aider. We'll give it to Aider. Only because. Equip. It's two-handed. Got 7 and 7. Not what I wanted to do. Oh, that's even better. Okay, so mail armor. That's what we want on Durance, though. Only because it makes more sense. Even though recovery speed is the speed at which you can cast spells. Well, most of us. Yeah, we'll do that. Ooh, you already have a second weapon set. Can use this because you can, because it's ranged. Or would you rather use this? Because that would make you, well, we already did switch your armor, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Not at this point. How we did all that. Okay, so we're at Magrin's Fork. Black Meadows next, or we can do the Anslog's Compass. We'll see. We'll see. Let me do Magrin's Fork and just scout that out now that we got another character here. Magrin's Fork. Just scout it out. I need to put her as a, that's right, I need to put her as an AI thing too. So we need to, aggressive, frenzy, barbaric yell. Aggressive. Defensive. I don't think you have any pro-rest abilities, do you? One per encounter, that's not per rest. So, one per encounter. Okay, nope, you're good. I'm gonna help this guy out if he's still here. Which I doubt. Oh, he's still here. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, hello there. Begging your pardon, but you gave me a good fright. I thought I heard someone rustling through the brush. Suppose that was just you. Silly of me. Don't suppose you happen to need some supplies. I thought I'd make my way over to Madmere Bridge, but I'm starting to think I'd be better off heading back to town and getting a few more folks together. Better safe than sorry, right? Say, did you hear something? see how the setup works, right? So we're not gonna go all out, we're just gonna make him here. Now we're gonna have everybody attack. Get the wolf hides and just come over here. So far so good. We're just gonna... Okay, that's a big wolf. It's no wolf. Nope, that's just... No. Let's see what we can do here. See how well we do with this. Okay. So we need you, Aloth, to cast some spells. Lance. That's Maya, so we can probably support Maya here. Okay, do that again. So we'll do a first level spell. No, but we'll do... Where's Maya? Maya getting, that's Eater. Maya is still down. So we'll cast it at you. Good. And we will cast it again. Level 1 spell. Divine Missile. It's a weaker link. Oh, she's in frenzy mode, okay. It's getting put right there, so we will... Weakest link is probably... Oh, that's good. Awesome. So it does work. One more spell. Already activated, okay.
That's it!
Okay, Radiance is getting kicked again. Oops, no, we don't want that. So, here's bow defense 59, space 54, so we have a better chance against you. Okay, so we got one more for Aloth. Level 2, what's this? He's got no...
Lavaru, be on seek!
That's decent. Use up all your spells, but we killed them all, so that's been too horrible. It was not too horrible. By every star in the sky, and thank you. I've never seen those beasts so bold before. Strange times around here. Take these. I'm headed back to Gilda Vale for certain, and you can make better use of them. You have gained an item. 3 potions of minor endurance out of the inventory. Okay, so that Barbarian's working out, looks like. But I wasn't really paying attention because the trees were obstructing my view. So we'll find out better. Oh, this is where the Will-O-Wisp is. Well, whatever. We're good. We'll just use supportive spells. Move here to block them off. Anything? Oops. Wand. Okay, R3. Who has better stealth? I don't know. I don't think we have a character that has stealth yet.
And what does the flame reveal?
Oh, we're gonna come back then. We'll come back for it. It's not a big deal. Doggy. Come on, dog. Get that one. Oh, this is the mage. This is awesome. So, they're using necrotic lance. It's fine. Spells, second tier. Okay, that was easy.
Feeling the strain. Gotta take better care.
Okay, Radiance, you're up. Do it again.
Join arms!
Okay, now you need to do this, Holy Radiance. He's gone. Now you need to see what we got. Pierce damage would be better on her, I bet.
The sorrow beyond seek.
Awesome. So now we need you to get some endurance back. Now we can use a camping supply without fail. Because Rance's health is a bit low. Excuse me. Damage reduction. We will probably do damage reduction. continue to explore Magrin's Fork here. And we'll get the Grimoire later. We'll look at the Grimoire later for Aloth. Boar? Oh, we should have done beast then. It's okay. There's lots of boars. Make a stand here. We need get some Radiance. Okay.
Got him!
You cast second wind in yourself. Awesome. Well, it didn't go as planned, but it was decent. Adra, a lot of Adra there. Your reflection warps, twists, and live gleaming Adra. Okay.
I shall be discreet.
We'll continue to explore. Oh, Force Troll with Eater's health. That's a reach. Make a line. Okay, what happened? Okay. Did he just clip? Yeah, I think he clipped. So what is he weak against? He's weak against crushing. So we will probably weak against corrode, I'm guessing.
Savaru, be on seat!
What are you doing? Can you not summon anything? Oh, you're not even close enough. I gotcha. Alright. I guess.
Damn, miss.
It's man's got the killing blow. That's funny. Yeah, funny. A reflex. Probably give that to the Barbarian. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, give that to the Barbarian. Though never as famed as he would claim, the valiant explorer Fulvano was known as an eccentric who wished to see the world. Where possible, he traveled by foot to gain a local's appreciation of the sights, sounds, and smells of the lands he passed through. In practice, however, Fulvano often claimed that explorations proved only that the world outside of the Valiant Republics was a foul, smelly place that paled in comparison to his homeland. This amulet is said to belong to Fulvano. He was a man much taken with mild superstitions, and his talisman, he said, was a source of luck. It also served a more sentimental purpose, for it depicts one of the great ships commonly seen at the docks of his homeland. the edges here. Burn into another force troll. Tower luck, honestly. We'll go down. And we'll go back to go to Vale and make sure we got the quests for this. I forget, honestly. And we're gonna rest. And we're gonna go to character, select Maya, go to inventory, give her this, examine, because it's reflex. Yeah, the reflex defense allows characters to dodge out of the way of physically harmful AoE attacks. Yep, I can give that to you. What's that? Overseeing, interesting. DI means damage reduction. When attack hits, there's one primary means of mitigating damage. Damage reduction. Damage reduction value is usually derived from armor, but many creatures have natural damage reduction or can raise it through the use of magic abilities, talents, or other equipment. Okay, so this is, oh, I see. So against those types of slash and crush. So there's different ones. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So we're good. Hater got a beating. Literally. Took a beating, whatever. Quite literally. So we'll see if we got this quest already, and we'll just check on it.
Hail and well met.
I'll be going. Okay, I was making sure. So, Radiance can do pierce damage. So that'd be probably pretty good against... Guess we need a bestiary for that. Do we have a bestiary? We do. Well, holy cow, how do you like that? So what is... Damage reduction is 4. Oh, not so. Okay. Does it tell us about defenses? Oh, I get it. So you have to compare the notes on the spell to the notes on the defense. Gotcha. That's a lot of reading. That's awesome.
Hail and well met.
And let's see what we got for sale.
Hail, traveler.
Do we have anybody that uses? What was that? Huh. That's Grimoire. Mace one-handed. We might want to do that with our Barbarian. Let's see. The versatile poleaxe is a powerful and flexible weapon that can deal devastating blows even against a fully armored opponent. Its straight-bladed axe head is opposed by a hammer, allowing the wielder to switch between different damage types as circumstances require. We need that. We do need this though, for whatever reason. Okay. So we will go to Pierce and Crush. That might work. Yeah, I think that'll work. Save. Let's help these poor sods out. Hey, what's up, sir? Two villagers stand by one of the tide pools. They are breathing harshly, clearly winded, and look up nervously as you approach.
Well met, friend.
If you're here to fish, as we were, stranger, you want to avoid a compass proper. The dwarven woman points to the southeast. Her companion shakes his head. A lot of ships wind up spread across the rocks here, so we didn't think much of the wreckage until we heard something. Excuse me, a terrible noise. Maybe it was a survivor, but he wasn't alive, moving but not truly alive. She shudders. It was awful. What do you mean? What did you see? Corpses, walking corpses. We don't want any part of it, whatever the cause. Might be we can find something in these tide pools, and then we're headed straight home. Fishing, of course, except I lost my fishing rod when I flung it at the head of one of those monsters, he sighs. We were looking the tide pools over and thought we'd try our luck down by the rocks. Got the fright out of our lives. We'll have to make do with the nets here or go hungry. The woman nods. All the time. It's a lovely place, but dangerous as anything to sail. Good fishing most days. She wipes her brow. I think we'll look further up the coast next time. Good tidings to... Wait, do you hear that? Zarep, Sunside. Okay, awesome. And let's make our entrance here. Everybody. Gods, what a mess. Thank you for your help, stranger. Yep, we got all kinds of good stuff from that. More Zareps.
I'll see what I can find.
Fish and clumps of seaweed, bright green with heat, roll in the stew. It tastes pleasantly salty. Ranga. You find yourself facing a towering Amaro woman. Her skin is warm gold brown of a dying sunset, with pale, fish-white patches at throat and hands. Wavy, red-brown hair, pulled into tight braids around a stripe of bare skin that follows the curve of her skull, flows down over her broad shoulders.
How do you do?
She regards you calmly, evidently unsurprised to find you here at the edge of her camp by the water. Have you come for medicines and craftworks, or to share the fire? She gestures to the large cauldron nearby. Offer sent me here. She says that you know a way to ensure that her child is not a hollowborn. Benevolent. Ah, more of Lord Radric's frightened flock. She nods slowly. You are kind to come all this way. Poor Offra must be beside herself. I imagine she gave you something for payment. Whatever it is, keep it. I don't need coin. I need you to do something for me instead. Ranga points inland. There's a Zarep tribe to the northeast, led by one of their priests. Tana was exiled from there some time ago, and their scouts still lurk about this place, waiting for an opportunity to end his life. Tana, the Zarep lets out a rattling squeak, head drooping. One day I will have to go for supplies, and will come back to find my assistant slain. How will I help anyone then? She shakes her head. You rid me of this nuisance, and I will do what I can for Offra, and throw in something for you, too. Okay. Good, good. You'll find them easily enough. I think she smiles, baring sharp teeth. Good luck. We'll make a stand here. Because what we'll do is we will... What are they weak against? So the mental capacity is weak, so we'll just do this. First deflection. Okay. What's their deflection at? 23. It's still decent. What is this against? 42. Nope. Okay, I've got to get rid of that priest. What is his deflection at? We do not know. That's awesome. So we're just sending the Necrotic Lance's way. Possibly. Right? Fortitude. Use probably a priest, so it's 42 might be high. So we will make you second wind yourself. Divine Mark. Where's the priest? Is that the priest? Near death, okay. We will just huh. Awesome. That's fun. Okay. Well, we got the beast gone. It's easy pickings, Clam shells and crab carapaces litter the coals. Anything good? Okay. I think there's some vessels down here we can just burn. Arbalest, we'll keep that for our other companions that we may get. Yep. Make a stand here. Make a stand here. And we are going to see something here real quick. So the reflection's high, fortitude, reflex, alright. What about you? It's printed by
The Baru beyond seek.
And because, yeah, it's the Radiance it is. Higher. Don't worry about this guy because he can flank us. Deflection is not as low stat. Let's just do with what we got. At the center of a ring of jagged stone, this boulder casts long shadows across the sand as the sun moves overhead.
My eyes are peeled.
That's fine. Oops.
Let's go.
Probably do advances. Holy Radiance here, because they're vessels. Right, yep, vessels.
Got him. Well met, friend.
Is it done? Am I rid of the interminable squawking of the Zarops? Scree? No, Tan, I don't mind yours. They're all dead. Good, I tired of their feeble attempts to surprise us. Here, she hands you 3 files for your trouble, and now we can get underway with my part of the bargain. I'll get started on the mixture, but I need one more ingredient. Some spores from the creatures in that cave there. She points just north of a little stretch of beach. Sporlings, they call them. It is useful material. I need one for the mixture. You are welcome to any others you find. Good. I will prepare the rest while you are gone. Once you return, it should not take very long to finish. This barbarian is a boon. This godlike barbarian, literally godlike barbarian, is a boon. Okay, so we will make a stand here. Make a stand here. And then right about here. Okay, that's not cool. Maybe if we did that over again. That was stupid. He was flanked, and that was what killed his thing, so. Okay, so now we will, what are they? They are not, they're primordial, so. Deflection is low, deflection is probably low. So their deflection's low. Do we have anything for that? Okay, so that didn't work out as I intended. The reflection is low. That guy. Okay, so that's the most basic stat. Okay. Do Radiance in. So deflection is your highest stat. That's not your lowest stat, but it'll work. Ah, so Drain's got it. I thought so. Good job. Good spot to save. We're taking the big guy.
Really? Let's go! Let's go!
Elon, what is deflection is 21, so do you have any deflection? Okay. Do it again, and he's dead.
Lava will be on seek.
Excuse me. What's this say? Moss and mold covered the bones like a blanket. They smell earthy and wet. Did we already get that? Yeah, we did. Okay. Oh, our Barbarian got hurt. Probably because we were knocking on it. What time is it? Or complete this quest, return it, complete the quest like that, and then we'll see if we can't take a small break, I guess. Small break. But what time is it? 11. Okay.
Keeping quiet. Greetings.
Careful with those sporelings. They have a way with the mind. Wrong taps their temper lightly. It's why the sports are so useful, really. I have some sports here. So you do. Excellent. Give one here and I'll add it to the cauldron. This should not take long. The mixture is ready. Take this to Afra. Tell her to drink it before bed as it induces sleep. She should find herself more energetic in the mornings. Tell her to eat more fish and cheese. The potion will sustain a healthy appetite. Grant her strength. She's a rather frail woman, from what I remember of her. Wait, I thought this was a cure. I can tend to ailments of the body. I cannot cure affliction of the soul. Certainly not one inflicted by the gods. Ranga crosses her arms. I have explained many times people will believe what they want. So let her believe. Perhaps that will help. Faith is a powerful thing. In the meantime, she will feel much improved, and if her child should not be claimed by the legacy, then it will be born healthy. That I will promise. I've done what I can as promised. Tell Afra I wish her well. I'm not going to fight with her. Even though it is kind of a shock if you kind of think about it. So, yeah, I'm not going to fight. Let's see what's this way. Oh, just an easy way to get home. Take you 10 hours. Well, let's do that. Tell her the bad news, I guess.
Good day, stranger.
You were some time away. I was worried you weren't returned. Is that it? Have you brought it? Afra looks at you hopefully. What did Ranga say? Yes, I have it. Here it is. You really did it. Oh, bless you, bless you. I don't know what I would have done without you. Now my baby will be safe. Afra beams at you. I can't thank you enough. Wait, you should know something about that potion. Afra blinks, looking at the vial. What do you mean? It doesn't do what you think. Ranga says it will make you feel better, but that's it. But that's Afra's happiness quickly fades. But everyone said. She looks away. I should have known. I've been so stupid. How could I think? I'm sorry. I wasted your time. You don't know that your child will meet the same fate. Perhaps this is best left to chance. Uh, yeah. Alfred takes a deep breath. You're right. I shouldn't turn to such methods. There may still be another way. She seems to deflate a little, her face weary. I won't take the potion, but thank you all the same for acquiring it for me. Here, take this. You can keep what remains of Ronga's payment too, and take this as well. It was Hawthorne's. I've been holding on to it, but I think it'll do you more good. I suppose all I can do now is pray. Perhaps gods will be kind. That's sad. Let's see what we got. What we got? Type. Where's that cape? Where's that cape? Oh, I bet she gave it to somebody. She did. A fortitude of reflex of will. So let's see what that does. That's going to Eater or Barbarian person. Because reflex. Yeah, it's going to you, and then this will go to Eater. I think. Perception. Why need perception? Reflex. I need perception now. Okay. How's that stealing? We were also good. That's cool. That's a pretty cool cape.
Hail and well met.
I'd like a room, please. We can sell those Zarep things, probably.
Hello.
What? I was gonna say that's kind of skill armor. Take that. How much is this worth? 20. Worth it. Wait, did I sell that stuff?
Greetings.
Okay, I did. I was just double checking. Sorry. Let me check your journal. was quick. We have more enemies. Awesome. Maybe we'll gain a level. Guess we'll go this way. Nope, no wolves.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
This is fun. 2 of them. Great. What's your stuff? Give me a second. Actually, just go without. So deflection is 30. And 42 to 66. Oh, their reflex is 18 and their willpower is 8. Awesome.
God.
Okay, so we don't know. That's probably the leader. Yep. Make a stand here. Wild sprint. Bandit leader, so he's a barbarian. Probably get rid of him first. Pierce damage. Where's the pierce damage on this? I'll try this first. Okay, so he's... So what are we doing? Deflection, so we need some against deflection. That'll be a lock. Deflection here, and what about his other cards? Oh, well, that was simple enough, I guess, right? Oops, casting the Oh, he's gone. Well, he's gone too. Yes, I'll get at him. Dang.
Reflexium esmitum.
Great. Let's save, because this is a good place to save. Just in case we have to hightail it back. Poor giants. I think there's a shrine over here or something. Yep.
Reflexium esmitum.
Excellent defenses.
No good.
So we need our spells. Yep. Might as well. What? Nope. Stupid. Peter, we need you to cast your second wind. Okay. Cast some spells himself. Oh, wait, no, second one. He actually needs them. Still lowest. It's the flashing again. So we'll just do this again.
Lava will be on seek.
Okay. This guy.
Lava will be on seek. These are in.
What are you doing here? I'm just standing there. You might need your spells here.
Let's go. Reflexium esmitum.
Anything good? Pela, there's some interesting.
Light, flame, and sound.
Fire wand.
To ourselves.
What does this do? Ancient legends. Oh. Freeing the Galloween, right? Force troll, so we might want to go this way. How many force trolls?
I'll see what I can find.
2. Yep, 2, okay. Okay, so do we have any spells left against reflex willpower? Reflex. Barbarian is flanked. I would suggest you do Radiance. Bones feel as hard as stone, yet surprisingly light. Dragon bones. Another forceful. What a surprise. Make your stand here. Wicks, so that's a vessel. That's a good thing. What wicks do we got? Stop. Push over a second. Though never similar as you would claim it. Oh, okay. This pair of boots is said to belong to Fulvano, and the initials burned into the leather would seem to bear that out. Fulvano was very particular about his boots, for they had to endure a great deal of use, and they were constructed to be as hardy as their wearer. Okay. Hunting bow, we could probably give that to Pela. A spare bedroll is laid out in this tent, but there's no other sign of Kith.
Let's go!
Poison. Good. Just gonna do this again. Radiance. This is probably... Yep, thought so. Seriously, probably attempting. We're attempting this fate here, really. Get as many experience points as possible. Feel my scatter crawling between the beast's teeth. Where's Force Troll? Oh, down here. Okay. Not either. Let's just go all out here. I know it's not gonna be a good thing.
Love.
We need to keep Eater alive, and so we need to keep our Barbarian alive, so we're going all out.
Lavaru beyond.
Radiance, you can do your spells here. I suppose they have. Smartest thing, but we're probably in it.
Beyond seek.
Yep. Okay. So we basically got the whole map covered if we don't run into anything else. I know it sounds very weird, but I know what's going to happen next a little bit, so we're going to trudge on just a little bit further. Got a new yep, I'm gonna do that. I don't know if we have anything on Cat at all. Just off the side of the path into Cadnua stands an imposing figure, a tall, thick-set Amawa, clad in worn armor and peering up at the outer walls of the keep. In his hand is a small piece of charcoal, and it works feverishly at taking notes upon a small scrap of paper. More than once he has to reach up to prevent his colorful cap from falling off his head as he gazes upwards. What are you doing over there? The man looks over at you, blinking in surprise. His face splits in a wide and very toothy grin, and he waves a parchment in greeting. Killing time, if I'm honest. I've already walked the perimeter twice. Their names scratched upon some of the bricks there. Workers and masons, I expect, carving a little immortality for themselves. He looks up the wall again, expression fond. It's a fine keep, Cadnua. 2 centuries to its name and abandoned for nearly as long.
The truly interesting part is in there, and I haven't had much luck in reaching the keep itself. I hoped to find the master of this place, a man by the name of Mayorwald. But it seems that he either holds his privacy most dear, or or else has been devoured by his house guests.
I came here looking for him as well.
Truly? Then perhaps we can help one another. The grounds are infested with all manner of beasts. I've never seen the like. I didn't want to risk it alone, but you seem capable. Together, I'm sure we can manage it. And then we can both ask our questions of marijuana. I seek a great treasure, you see. Not gold or silver, but the Tanvi Oratoa. You might call it the Book of Virtues. It's a sacred text of the Rauatai, but we possess only a fragment of it. A year I've journeyed in search of the rest, and I uncovered evidence that leads me to believe the original lies just there, beneath the keep. Excellent. Lead on, my friend, and I will be at your heels. Ah, wait. Speaking of that, I ought to warn you first. Ondra's teeth, I nearly forgot. I have, at times, been followed. It began in Adir, and in Exometal they attacked outright. I believe they do not wish for me to find what I am looking for. I say believe, but I have been told as much by one of my would-be assassins. I pay them little mind. Humorless sorts in long robes. But it's why I bought the sword, you see. And it's only fair that you should know. I'm glad you're not discouraged. Come then. Who knows what we will find inside?
I'm just looking at something. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Okay, we got another person that we got to first look at, right? We have to make sure we know what we're dealing with. So, he uses level 2 scrolls, another lore person, and mechanics. I think we should put him up to stealth, because we have nobody else in stealth. So he will be our stealth person. Let's see here. He's also another chancer. Huh? Oh, whatever. Yep. Okay. So he is a chancer. Let's see, compare him really. He's got more might, some more damage. He's got less constitution, more perception, more intellect. So it really doesn't matter who our summoner is, I guess. I also have it be this guy, kinda. For whatever reason, I like him being the summoner. Stealth. Summons Phantom. Yep, he'll be our summoner. So he will be also our middle guy, I would think, or our back. Since he's our summoner, he might be best in the back. So he uses item and look. So we will do utility. Ancient memory. That's decent. Like that. So this is just phrases I chance all the time, like my Pela does. So let's see what we can do here. We'll do dull the edge, blunt the point. So he'll be in the middle, definitely. So unfortunately. Oh, right, we gotta do that. So he will. Actually, he will be behind Radiance. Ah, I almost forgot. I need to equip that to her. is it? I think we're fine. So 12 to 17, that's a little bit over, so that's good. That's what we want. Yep, awesome. What do these do? Constitution. Constitution. So who has better constitution? Yep, we'll give them to her. that's not an issue. Save. Who knows? So it looks like there's, if you see Durant's status, he's already getting fatigued. So we will look and see here what focusing. Mine's Soul and I. It's probably because he keeps getting killed. Athletics. South athletics. Use athletics too. Keep up with this. Yep, we gotta go to be able to rest. Full party looks like. Rest.
Hail, traveler.
And sell other useless stuff.
How do you do? Awesome. Save. How close is everyone to leveling up? Let's find out. Kinda close. Pretty close. Let's do this then. Let's go to Ode Ethan Temple. Just for a little bit, only first level probably.
haven't been in here for, must be 5, 6 years. Used to be real nice. Bright. Warm.
A man lies resting against the wall, lit by the dim illumination of the fading sconces. He has a gaunt, fox-like aspect, and his face is pale and damp with sweat. One arm is held loosely against the side, sleeve soaked with blood. He gives you an anxious glance as you near, his features twisted with pain. Have a care if you mean to go in. He casts a quick look towards the doorway to his left. This place is not so empty as I thought. He angles a look up at Eater. Paying your respects, Eothesian? He manages a pain grin. A little risky, isn't it? Think of what the townsfolk would say. Safer down here than up there, even with the rats as big as they are. A faint edge of hostility belies Eddar's playful tone. This temple isn't what it used to be. Probably for the best, times being what they are. He groans and shifts position, wincing. I'm no looter, if that's what you're thinking. Not one of his types, either. Wharton jerked his chin towards Eater. Just wanted to do some good, I suppose. Got my arm clawed up for it. He regards you wearily. Maybe you'd have better luck. Better luck with what? The man points a finger upwards. These ruins around us used to be a temple of Eothis, the scattered god. A grand temple at that. His worshippers would come from all over the Deerwood, from Red Cirrus, even. Not so much from Red Cirrus these days. Until the war, of course. Even then you'd get some of the stubborn ones, the ones that couldn't get it through their heads that their god was dead and gone. Go on. Once the legacy started, Lord Radrix decided that he'd been too lenient on I can't even pronounce that, it's okay. He had his people go in and put them to the sword. Left them down there, buried deep under a heap of rock. After that, Radrix ordered the temple sealed. It's been years like that, up until recently. Lord Radrix hopes that if we rededicate the temple to a living god, then we'll be forgiven, and the legacy will end. See? He smiles wryly. But until then, the temple is as you see it, unguarded. That's where you come in. Wharton licks his lips. Those priests, maybe they didn't have a lick of sense between them, but they still didn't deserve to go like that. Chopped down in their god's house. It doesn't sit right with me. If we can get down there, find their remains, maybe we can finally give them a proper burial. Wharton breathes out. No small task. There's coin in it for you if you need motivating. Alos's cautious expression softens. A pleasant surprise to see that someone around here has a shred of respect for the dead. Thinking you aren't supposed to be in here? Wharton laughs bleakly. Well, I meant to be in and out, nice and quick. I'm not hurting anyone. It's just Lord Radrix forbidden anyone having anything to do with the scattered god. It'd be a little harder to explain to him than you. It's a good cause, though, isn't it? And you couldn't make some coin in the process. Ask some questions first. No more questions. It's okay. I'll find them. Then by the flame I owe you a good turn. But listen, the temple has been sealed off for so long, it's crawling with creatures. But if you get past them, the priests would have been down on the lower floor. They'll be there still if they're anywhere. Those priests had all kinds of secret chambers, switches in the walls, trick sconces, that kind of thing. Keep an eye out. And take care down there. I wouldn't want to have to send someone else after your remains. I'll wait here by the stairs and keep a lookout. Maybe try to patch myself up some. Find me. Let's save because that was long dialogue. What else we got? We got the wisp, so we can go here. They got bolt, I forgot about that. Gosh dang it. Shoot. Cool.
And what does the flame reveal?
This parchment is worn and tattered, and ink upon it faded. In this time of hardship, must have just as much faith in ourselves. I'm just gonna look around, honestly. Not really expecting to find much.
Brave does be lost.
Closer, closer, Sweet.
Would you look at this?
Margaren's fire casts light in dark.
Oh, neat. That's cool. Warm up. Or don't. It's okay. These collapsed stones are pocked with burrows and narrow crevices. Claw marks and dung mark the passages of beasts. Where are you? Okay,
Steady does it.
Can't go that way, I guess. Oh shit, what's that? Water, to the water, okay. That's easy. God, what is there?
Not to alarm me.
Okay. Okay, Aloth, you better just put stuff. What is there? Stimulation super.
Lava. Lava will be unseat.
Okay, I think we did good there. We did pretty good. Not too bad.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
See what's over here. Probably some more enemies, but we'll find out. Yep.
Most inconvenient.
Let's go.
And we got this. Wound triage would be out of the question.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea.
The nearby crystal light
Which
cracks
is
the mosaic floor
not very
in shades of orange, and at certain angles, a metallic symbol beneath your feet gleams gold.
As you look on, the air shimmers as if with summer heat. The very dust in the air seems to pull it together until a thin glowing mist appears before you. In its rippling gleam, you sometimes think you can see the shape of man, features rendered in broad strokes of air and smoke. Who are you? Your voice sparks movement. The spirit surges with a sudden blazing light, and in the next moment you are somewhere else. Your mind is sailed with a sudden wave of fear and noise. You are in the chapter hall. Priests and faithful have gathered in a great crowd, spilling into the hall. Bodies press against you, surging forward to listen. Your own grief is mirrored in the faces around you. Some of the initiates are weeping. Someone has snuffed the candles, and the room is dark save for the podium lit from behind. 2 people stand before it, lit in silhouette. A man is shouting, voice so ragged with fear you cannot understand what he says, but Directrix stands calm, unmoved. Her strength will see you through these dark times. You feel that hope like a spark behind your ribs. Somewhere behind you, someone begins to sing. The spirit tears itself from you with a sudden dizzying force, and you find yourself back before the ruined altar swaying. The spirit fades as suddenly as it appeared.
Are you feeling unwell? You were behaving a little oddly.
A true speaker for the dead. Never thought I'd meet one in the flesh. Well, there's a gilded cover for a dark book, Kana scratches the temple. I suppose that's one way to learn from the past, is ask the spirits outright. Basically, yeah. The face of the statue has had most of its features struck off, along with portions of its hands.
Nice and quiet.
Sweet. The red-brown smears flick away into the toe of your boot. That's disturbing. Here's another door, I guess, right? Maybe? Nope, not this way. Let's go. Let's save, actually.
He does it.
Fine sword. These prayer scrolls are coated in a thick layer of grime and dust. To His Grace, I write to implore. The rest of this letter is crossed out in several places and then abandoned altogether.
This won't stop me for long. There! Done!
Mace, that's all close. Grave silver key. Sally's son. I understand your concern, Sister Nadra, but we are safest here within the temple. What wrong have we done? Lord Radric would not risk his position by harming us when we have brought so much prosperity to the village. Orton pretends that alarm. He knows full well that these are empty threats and means to frighten us into departing our home. Are we to abandon Guild and go to Vale to heretics? Orton too will play his part when the time comes. Our temple will stand long after Lord Radric's hold is but gravel and memory. Rectrix Obrica. Let's take it all. The Great Western Stag. One day Aethys was sitting on a wall watching a cat play in the sun. A crystal hung in a nearby tree had fragmented a sunbeam and scattered small motes of light on the ground. They danced around his cat, sliding over him as he frantically batted at them. He spun in place, following one as it rushed past him, and leaped on it, trying to pin it down. Aethys smiled, amused at the animal's tenacity. The cat landed on the spot, placing his paws over it, only to watch it flit away again. Aethys watched the cat's tail twitch and slap at the ground, annoyed that his prey could not be pinned. Why must you tease him? A voice said from behind him, accompanied by the crunch of sandals on gravel. I merely bring the dawn, Aethys responded. I don't stoke the hunter's heart. That's your responsibility, isn't it? True, said a second voice, but neither do you quell it. If the hunter could not see his prey, would he still hunt? So philosophical, Hylia, Aethys said, and turned to greet the 2 gods that approached him. Have you come to debate the parallel between sight and desire? He gestured to the wall, inviting Hylia and Galawain to join him. They sat in silence, watching the cat who continued to hunt the sun, fruitlessly swatting at another mote and then rolling onto its back. I've created the ultimate prey, Aethys said, finally breaking the silence. It can be tracked, it can be followed, it can be seen, but can never be caught. Galwain laughed lightly. You don't agree, Galwain? Aethys asked. While it's true your creation is elusive, it hardly can be considered the ultimate prey because it can never can be caught. He paused, his brow furrowed in thought. If that mode of light had substance, the hunter could subdue it. Otherwise, it's merely a dream, truly a fruitless endeavor. All creatures spend their lives chasing fruitless endeavors, said Halea. It is a way of mortality. Galwain laughed again. I could create a creature, a living creature of flesh and blood, that could never be caught, and make your dream a reality. Now watch, it was Aethys' turn to laugh. You propose turning a fruitless dream into fruitless reality. How is this any better? A life spent in pursuit of an attainable goal far exceeds any other. But we just said no one could catch this creature. This is not attainable. Galwain smiled. Humanity has surprised us before. Indeed, it can surprise us again. I will create a great white stag, and I will set it free in the world. It will have grace, resilience, and tenacity. It will exist solely to be pursued for all its days, and it will never be caught. It will serve to inspire the hunt for generations to come. All those who wish for glory will invoke my name. All those who hear its story will ask for my blessing in finding it. Hylia shook her head, and threw Galwain a bemused look. I do not believe this is possible, so I too make an offer. To the person who catches the stag, and they will catch the stag, I will bestow upon them its grace, resilience, and tenacity. Thrice blessed they will be. They will ask for my blessing on the hunt so they can obtain my boon. Galwain and Hylia took up arguing whose name would be invoked more when the hunt was on. Aethys sighed, a small smile playing at the edges of his mouth. He stood and looked to the sky. The sun had already started to hide itself behind the mountains. The cat, long ago tired of stalking the moats, had fallen asleep beneath the tree. He turned and looked at the other gods, deep in debate, and sighed again. I merely bring the dawn, he repeated as he made his way down the path. It is up to you to see what I reveal. So, on that note, since we're doing a lore playthrough, let's see here. Okay, we gotta keep going. Here we go. Gods. So we just met Hylia and Galwain. Met, quote unquote. Hylia. Portfolio, the sky, birds, maternity, creativity, language, song, invention, the arts. Allies, Aethys. Foes, Magrin, which is, according to this, a relatively new development. Hylia sees all that passes on the earth below, and she commands the allegiance, or at least the respect, of every living creature that takes on to the air. She wraps herself in a mantle of many colors, made from the feathers of every species of bird that has ever been seen. Her court of birds is a lively place, often depicted in art and song, full of sound and color and invention. Hylia has never been known to appear in human form, but is thought to be manifested in birds of all kinds who serve as her eyes and ears in a mortal world. The greater the number of birds that are present in a particular place, the greater the likelihood that the Sky Mother is watching. When a mother dies to bring new life into the world, it is thought that her soul is carried directly to Hylia's court and transformed into one of her avian attendants. Children whose mothers died at birth are believed to be sacred to the Queen of Birds, since according to the stories, their mothers have her ears and she watches over them throughout their lives. Her official temples are aviaries, usually with many windows and skylights, sometimes with ceilings of glass, and filled with local birds of every kind. They often double as artists and writers' salons, with the creative classes among her most fervent devotees. Her informal clergy are midwives, scattered across the countryside, who are trained in the medical arts and deliver children in their goddess's name. They have no temples to speak of, but they will always wear a fetish or charm of colorful feathers, a sign that they have been trained by their predecessors and blessed by the goddess. Before the destruction of St. Widwin at Godhammer Citadel in the Saints' War, Hylia was an ally and friend of Aethys, since both gods had a hand in birth and new beginnings. Her priesthood mourns her disappearance on the anniversary of St. Widwin's quote-unquote death, and commissions plays and poems in his honor. They are also rumored to have also accepted a number of Aethesian clergy into their own ranks, in an effort to save them from the vengeful followers of Magrin. It has somewhat dampened the Queen of Birds' faith in Deerwood, and raised tension between her and Magrin, which is why there was a recent development, I guess. Artists and poets often keep birds in their homes, hoping that the goddess will whisper to them in their sleep. Among the wild Orlands, though, creative inspiration not seen as a gift, but as something to be stolen from the goddess. Their poets and singers organize hunts in the deep forest, thinking the rarest and most colorful birds, which are then slain and eaten. To eat of the goddess's flesh is the only way to capture her divine creative spark in their view. Accordingly, the Sky Mother has no clergy among the wild Orlands, and childbirth is said to be particularly painful and difficult for their kind. We also make Gallowayne. So let me see if I can find him. Oh, it's alphabetical. I get it. Gallowayne. Aliases: the Seeker God, the Clever Hound, Lord of the Hunt, Father of Monsters, the Changeling. His portfolio consists of Pursuit, Discovery, Perseverance, the Hunt, Assassins, Predatory Beasts, and Wilderness. Allies, he maintains an uneasy friendship with Mogren, as both gods respect trials and adversity. Symbols: a dog's head, usually made of ivory or bone. Gallowayne is a patron of the hunt in all its forms, and he is honored by those whose occupations are concerned with pursuit and discovery. His faithful include frontiersmen, constables, treasure seekers, explorers, and even scholars, many of whom wear his carved symbol, a dog's head, around their wrist or neck. He is also a protector of wild places and untamed wilderness, where the hunt manifests in its purest form as a daily struggle for survival. Perseverance and cleverness are prized by Gallowayne above the brute strength. He particularly delights in turnabout, the transformation of prey into predator, or any sort of reversal where the weak gains an advantage over the strong. Animals that assist mortals in the hunt, i.e. dogs, falcons, are particularly sacred to the Seeker God, and slaying or abusing them is thought to draw his ire. In stories, this punishment is often meted out by transformation into a prey species, with the offender left to the mercy of the very animals that he formerly abused. In the mortal world, Gallowayne often manifests as a wolf or dog, though he may also appear as a changeling, a broad-shouldered man with shaggy hair and beard, nut-brown skin, and some animal traits, i.e. pointed, hairy ears like an Orlan's, and sharp canine teeth. As a changeling, he is almost always accompanied by his pack, a fearsome assortment of predatory beasts. Legend suggests that Gallowayne once served as a divine enforcer, destroying those who defied the gods. Such stories seem to date from the vanished era when Woedica, another god, ruled the other gods, for it is often as she who commands the Seeker to destroy a hapless individual, or in some cases an entire mortal city. Though he has not served in this role for centuries, many believe that he would do so again if the need arose, and mortal assassins still consider him to be their divine patron. For some Glanfathan clans, the Seeker God has a particularly important role. It is he who confers legitimacy upon their leadership. Anamfatha and Aminfatha, males and females respectively, who are expected to be cunning and effective leaders of the hunt. When an Anampath is dying, he is carried into the deep forest and left there to be claimed by the Seeker God. If the Seeker God deems an Anampath worthy, the Glanfathans believe that he will leave the corpse intact, carrying out the chief's soul to join his pack. If not, the Seeker's hounds would tear apart the chief's body, and his soul will be forced to find its own way to the afterlife. In such cases, that chief's name is struck from the oral records of the clan, and he is quickly forgotten. A similar tradition has arisen among devotees of Gallowayne from other cultures. Frontiersmen who have followed the Seeker for most of their lives, and who have proven themselves to be worthy hunters, will often wander into the woods when they feel death approaching, hoping that their souls will be accepted by their divine patron. Explorers have reported finding the desiccated corpses of woodsmen that have apparently lain in the wilderness for weeks or months, yet remained untouched by animals, leading some credence to these beliefs. Souls that are accepted by the Seeker are thought to join his pack of predatory beasts. Those who are particularly favored may be chosen as the first of the new species. In his role as father of the monsters, the Seeker has continually fashion new races, quote-unquote, of predatory creatures that dwell in the deep wilderness. These creatures are always clever hunters, each more dangerous than the last, and their characteristics are inspired by the mortal follower who was selected as the first of their kind. We'll go into Woedica later, probably. Book of Verses. This small volume of verses in Psalm is somewhat battered, suggesting it used to be carried on someone's person. The pages are dog-eared and worn, and the gold threads which form the title of the book have begun to fray. The book tends to open to a particular section where someone has marked a verse with a small blotch of ink. Nung, the bright star, spoke, and her voice was like a clarion cry, calling his soul forth. He knew her for the right hand of the shining god, and was afraid, which is Aethys. O wanderer, hear me, she spoke. You are known to us, and your deeds put you far from salvation. And he wept, for he knew that his sins lay bare before this great illumination. Then when Sargamus spoke, and his voice swept forth with the heat and force of a bright day's sun, weep not, for the child of light has forgiveness even for you, if you will not embrace him. Harm K knelt before them, then resolved to save himself, and asked what he must do. And Modagun spoke. Her voice was like the songbird's final hymn, bidding farewell to the day's light. What darkness lies within you, you must cast into his light. Your sins will be burned from you until you are newly formed, reborn into his keeping. So spoke Mordegund, and Aegnon warned him, saying, You have walked all these years into darkness, and must now return. You will find a path like treading fire, and at every step you will be tempted to turn away, but no harm will come to you if you keep your faith. We'll take these. We'll save here, because that was a long-winded thing. Where are we at? Okay, so we gotta go south end, probably. We haven't gone this way, though.
Let's go. Look at this.
Ooh, who leveled up? Oh, a Barbarian leveled up.
Let's
awesome.
go.
Remagarn's mantle. Restore freeze. Oh, 20% of freeze damage converted to endurance. Cool, we'll take it. And we will level you up, Maya. And we will level probably this up. Wild sprint, nope. Nope. Nice, that's good. Let's just see, Savage Defiance. What's wrong, Coco? What's wrong, Coco? What's wrong? You need to eat more. She needs to eat more. She needs to eat more. Her very thin. I want to get this floor done at least. 1 second here. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. That's fine. Right. Just feed her, make sure she eats.
Lava!
A haze fills the air, coalescing steadily into a blur of dust and mist. It gathers into the outline of what appears to be a dwarf, a shimmering echo that fades in and out of sight. But stronger than sight is the sense within you of a powerful energy. It roils and seethes with a grief that seems to spill into your own thoughts, taking them until the sorrow is your own. Like a crashing wave, the energy surges toward and into you, and suddenly you are elsewhere. Before you is a brightly lit stone corridor, lined with torches and gleaming crystals. You are running, your footsteps echoing off the stone around you. You forgot to tie your sandals, and they are slipping from your feet, fouling your steps. You're late again. The right's going to begin without you. You hear the tolling of the bell, and your spirits lift as you recognize the familiar warped tone of the right hand, representing the first of the dawn stars to appear in the night sky and last to fade in the dawn light. You pray fiercely that this is the first of the chimes and not the last. The light fades as does the memory, and when your eyes clear, the spirit is gone. powerful odor of spices rises from one of these dishes. Vibrant dyes and grain seeds fill the others.
I shall be discreet.
Let's make sure there's nothing around here. Do everything in this level? Looks like it. Unlocked. With the silver key. That saved me from the trouble of doing this. So let me just save it here. Yep, save it here. Actually, camp. Spirit, probably. Accuracy against. Nope, spirit. Yeah, you have less health, so we'll do that. And thank you for watching me play and listening to my lore on it, which I have kind of the extra stuff, some of the supplemental materials. I appreciate that. Let's make sure. What time is it?